All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So Google is going to launch the Pixel 8 Pro, and they are going to launch a new Pixel watch. So I really enjoy the Pixel Fold. I have really high expectations for this device. And then after watching the Apple event today, you know, I'm really inspired to continue to use my Pixel Fold. And you know, say, Jay, what the heck? What do you mean? Well, I watched another video from someone with about Android devices versus iOS devices, or just the operating system, that is. And you know, it just means so much more to me to have the Pixel Fold. The Duo is no longer going to be supported as of this year. I'm going to keep my Duo. I'm going to flex my Duo every now and then. I'm going to use it like I always do every now and then, just to kind of keep things going with that device, because it doesn't matter if it gets a software update or not. It's still a hot device. But this device right here just has a special place for me. It's so good. And it's hard to put down sometimes. Like when I don't use it, I miss it. When I switch over to my Z Fold 5, kind of miss it. When I switch over to my Z Flip 5, kind of miss it. So I end up going back to it all the time. So I decided to go ahead and use my Z Fold 5 to record this video. Here is my S23 Ultra, which I've been using to record videos on this channel lately. Haven't been using the 14 Pro Max, haven't been using the 13 Pro Max. I've even been using my Sony to record videos on here because I really like the way this phone records in certain lighting situations. But nonetheless, the Pixel Fold, I've been reading some of your comments and I've been, you know, checking on things. And I think a lot of people kind of have me misunderstood when it comes to the Pixel Fold. I think what people don't understand is that I'm actually using the device. Again, when I leave this device and go to something else, I kind of get shaken, like, man, I gotta go back to my Pixel Fold because I just like it better. Even though this isn't a device that, you know, is better than other devices in a lot of ways. I've already told you that the Z Fold 5 can do way more things better than this device. And, you know, I've shown these two next to each other. I've shown the 7, my 7's across the room. I've shown those on camera next to each other. And I just feel like that's drawing me in, because shout out to my Project 13. I was watching one of his latest videos. He was talking about the journey. He was talking about how this device is so great. And I just said to myself, you know, I feel him on that, because sometimes, because he's new to foldables, you know, he hasn't had very many foldables. He's new to them and he hasn't really transitioned like some of us. And I feel like when it comes to this device, there's so much about it that I just like, even though it's flawed a little bit. You know, it's got some issues that I like. I don't, you know, I think they need to be worked out. But I think that people are a little misunderstood when it comes to me, where they think I'm complaining about the Pixel Fold. It's really just about a real user experience. And I've said it back up before a long time ago. And I've always told people, if you've been following me long enough, you've heard me say this, what I'm getting ready to say. People don't want the truth. They want to be entertained, and they want people to entertain their thoughts, and they want everybody to just stroke their ego. That's not what I do here, folks. I just don't do it. I'm going to use the device and report back to you my experiences. And I think this is what people fail to realize sometimes. I'm not making the video to please you. I'm just giving my experience on it. And a lot of times I'm neutral, and I'm trying to be neutral and objective on everything, but so many things are subjective. You know, you can't do it in a setting like this. Like if I talk about performance and stuff like that. If I talk about performance, this phone right here excels. Anybody know what this says? Carl doesn't, unless he was just replying some kind of way. Anybody know what that says? If you know what that says, go to my Twitter, or you can read it right there real quick. Tell me what you think that says. But just sheer performance, this phone just does great, man. It does all the basics right. It just does it right, man. And I think that's why I keep going back to it, because why is it signing me out? Oh, I changed my password. That's what it is. I don't know why. I go back to it, and I I don't know, man. I just really like it, man. The phone is so fire that it's difficult to put down. The performance is right on. The areas that it fails is which is where Samsung comes in, where Apple comes in. And so seeing as though I have so many devices, I get the best of both worlds. I get to try them all. This foldable device right here, you probably see more videos. This has probably got to be one of the phones that you've seen, the phone videos series that you've seen from me, where I'm really going in on it. And meaning I'm calling out things about it, even though it's a new device. From my point of view, I think people just don't want to hear that. I think they just want me to keep hearing. They want me to say it's the best because it's Google's first foldable device. I gave Google props for them doing much better at it than Samsung on their first attempt. This is a much better first attempt, but a lot of people cannot seem to accept the fact that, you know, that's not where it stops. There's a lot about this device that I really like. It just needs to be fine-tuned. And this is the thing about having a first product. You know, like Microsoft dropped the ball. With the Surface Duo 2, folks, Microsoft dropped the ball. I would have purchased another Surface Duo, the Surface Duo 2, if Microsoft hadn't have dropped the ball. The Surface Duo 2 kind of reminds me of this device on the back, but it just doesn't fold in that orientation, which is why I don't like the back of this one right here. But I think with the way Google's going and the way they're doing this device, man, they are on to something. They're on to something. But as a consumer and a tech enthusiast, I try to speak for the consumers first in a lot of situations because I want you to get the best deal. But in reality, you know, people keep saying, no, the value's not there. The value's not there. This hardware alone, to me, is premium and it has a lot of value. I said the same thing about the Surface Duo, the OG Surface Duo, the hardware alone. You know what I'm saying? Remember the first titanium phone? I said the essential phone that titanium. People say, oh, the hardware alone is worth it. You know what I mean? But getting Google to understand, you know, not releasing just the next number up. You know, the Pixel Fold 2, that's not going to work. There's a lot of things on this device that need to be changed. And, you know, I've learned that people, again, they don't want to really hear another user's opinion on something or what another user's truth is. They just want to hear things to make them feel good about their purchase. This, no doubt, is an expensive device. And I've covered so many things about this device. And for the first time, I can say, for the first time, I wasn't like all in. This is 100%. This is positive all the way. I just wasn't like that because this device doesn't get that kind of rap. It's not that kind of phone to where, you know, I feel like it deserves it yet. I mean, it is a first attempt, and it doesn't matter that it's a first attempt. What matters is, did they get it right on the first time? And they got it right technically. But, you know, again, calling out all the things I've called out about this device, it's gonna need some work. But for some reason, I'm drawn to the software. I'm drawn to the form factor. I'm drawn to taking photos with it. It's just so many things that I like about it, the where I wouldn't put it down. And you know, the price, obviously, when we talk about phones, I feel like phones over $400, you got to explain yourself, because the reality is, folks, I can get the same experience from this phone. And the way these cameras are, it's pretty doggone close. And this is the 7A. Say what you want, but this is a hot device. I'm about ready to put my SIM card back into this one. I was actually using this phone and I powered it off and put my SIM card back in here. But I just feel like when it comes to Google with the Pixel Fold, and then after watching Apple's event, I'm telling you, I was so inspired to stay here. I mean, like I said, I'll probably pick up the iPhone 15 Pro and just add it to the collection or whatever. But I'm inspired to keep pushing for Google to do something great with this, because I know that the 8 and 8 Pro are going to be fire, man. The blue one is going to take off. So hopefully I can grab me a blue one. Hopefully I can grab me a blue one and keep it pushing and see what the 8 Pro is all about, or the 8 is all about. I really don't like when Google doesn't make the same device in a smaller size. Not everybody wants a ginormous device. People want that same power. This is where Asus comes in, making the Asus Zenfone 9 and 10 or whatever. Those phones are powerhouses and they're nice and compact. And to me, this is where this phone comes in. This is a wonderful device right here, man. This thing is fire right here. This is crazy. It is crazy how nice this device is. And it's probably getting overlooked by a lot of people. It does everything you need it to do. Everything and more. And I think this is where Google kind of shot themselves in the foot with the Pixel Fold. To me, I don't think they thought this through enough to where maybe they thought Pixel fans would just be in ooh and ah for a long time because they finally got a folding device. But if you're going to drop something for $2,000, it has to be a major step above what you're currently offering. And this is not it. This is not a major step above. It's more like a entry-level device with all the quirks and bells and whistles of a regular Pixel. It just folds in half. And that does mean something. Obviously, it means a lot to me to be able to have a folding device because, you know, I get a much more compact screen. I still get a big screen. You know what I mean? Like I get a nice screen. I get a nice screen. But, you know, I still get a small size, but also it's also double the size almost. Even though this is a really thin phone, you know, it's like almost two cell phones together. And I just think Google really has to do some work on that. The Pixel 8 should be really nice, but unfortunately, it's going to be just like the 7 and 7 Pro, where the 8 is the lesser of the two. You know, and I don't like that because you already have the 7A line. Why are you doing a Pixel Pro? Pixel 8 Pro and just not a regular, you know, 8 the same way. It just, I don't get it yet. They really need to hammer that in and give us the compact powerhouse device that we deserve. And it's really just going to come down to the screen resolution and the cameras, because I think that's about the only thing that's really different pretty much when you go from the 8 to the 8 Pro. But correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how most of they've been doing, you know. So you got to mirror the device and give us a better small device, Google. And because a pro small device, I would say, because not everybody wants a big device. Now, obviously, I like big phones, but not everybody is going to be willing to carry that around all the time. So the Google conversation continues. You know, what are you expecting from Google with the Pixel 8 Pro and 8? They've already put them out there. You know, we can pretty much assume and probably get it right that they're not going to have a small powerhouse device, you know. So does that mean we need to put more pressure on them for the Pixel Fold? I say yes. Got to put more pressure on them. Got to do it. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed the Pixel conversation. How do you feel if you've owned your Pixel for as long as I had it since launch? If you had it since launch, how long have you had your Pixel Fold? If you have one, or are you just holding off on your Pixel 7 or 6 and you're going to move towards the Pixel 8? It's your man Jay. Did you even consider the 7A? 7A is a beast. I think I'm going to put my SIM card back in here for today. It's your man Jay. If you guys enjoyed, see you in the next one. Take care.